Hello, Ridge Wings community. Hope everyone is doing so well. I am really excited about tonight's live. I am bringing on two of the founders of Moms on the Ground. Parisa and Amber are going to join me here in just a moment. And I am so excited for you all to meet them. They are just, it's incredible what they have done in such a very short amount of time. And they are going to share what their grassroots organization is all about and ways that you can be involved with it and even ways that you can replicate this. It is, they are so powerful and timely. So I am going to reach in here right now and bring them on live. Let me see, give me 1 second as I bring them on. I know, I love seeing all of your comments. I'm excited to bring them on too. Okay, Amber, I have you coming on. And then Parisa, I'm waiting on your invite. So, hey, Amber.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to have you on.
Thank you.
I'm just waiting for Parisa to join us. I don't see her yet. Is she going to be joining us with the Moms on the Ground handle?
I think so.
Okay. Let me see. I don't see her yet, but we can start with you. Why don't you just start to share, and then when I see her come on, then she can introduce herself. But why don't you introduce who you are and what you're doing here?
Well, my name's obviously Amber. I am originally from Florida, transplant here for almost 3 years in California. I'm a mom. I've been in real estate for many years, and the reason I'm here is to fight this mandate. I have two girls that are both in high school, and I'm not willing to inject them with a vaccine that we don't have any long-term studies on yet, at least not on children. So that's kind of why I'm here.
And your girls aren't little itty bitty; they're a little bit older.
Yeah, my daughters are 15 and 18.
So
And
that
oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, and honestly, like when I heard about the mandate, I was kind of like, oh, I felt like I got punched in the stomach. I was literally numb all day. And I talked to my oldest daughter. I said, if they push this through, you might not be able to graduate with your class. It's not really fair for her. And you know what? She was like, that's fine. I totally understand. And then my youngest one, she actually does Cal Prep, which is kind of a homeschool thing through the county, and then is dual enrolled at a high school just for sports. And I said, you might not be able to, do your sport next year if they do that, or finish out this year. And she was like, fix it. So, I put a post on a local Facebook page asking for moms or parents, if anybody wanted to help me fight this, DM me. And I had 8 moms DM me within the first 10 minutes, and then my post got taken down because it was political. I don't think there's anything political with our children's health.
No.
But I started that thread with the 8 moms on, Facebook Messenger, and just wonderful women. And it just grew to like 150 by the end of the night. And I don't know what it's at now. And in that discussion is where we were like, all right, we need to, let's set a time and let's meet and let's go through this, figure out what we can do. So we set a meeting. It was last Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but the last Tuesday. And I thought maybe 50, 100 people tops would show up. We had 500 people show up. There were videos of the cars lined up on the 5, trying to get to where we were. And we actually did it in the parking lot of our district school. So it was kind of a great place to do it.
So that's how I found out about you, because I was getting tagged like crazy on, oh my goodness, look what's happening. There's this huge rally happening in a parking lot, and it was a last minute thrown together, and all these moms just showed up, and dads. There were moms and dads and lots of kids. When you put out that initial post, did you expect anywhere near the number that showed up.
Not in a million years. You know, like I said, I'm new to the area. You know, I don't have a lot of friends. I do now.
Yeah.
You know, I've got 4 amazing friends that came up to me because we had to wait like 20 minutes because the cars were just lined up down the road, and they're like, hold off. And you know, Laura, Melissa, Heather, and I met Teresa the following night. They all came up to me, and actually Heather had called me the day before and was like, I want to help you. What can I do? So I met them all that night, and you know, we had good chemistry. We're all very powerful. We're all very opinionated, and we're all mama bears. So it helps. You know, Teresa's a lawyer. Laura's a businesswoman. She's great with data. Heather is just a social media genius, and Melissa is boots on the ground. You know, let's get people out. Let's, you know, get these flyers out. Let's get parents at the school. Let's get them protesting this. So,
Well,
you know, we all bring something to the team.
And what's so beautiful about what you're doing is that this is something that is easily, you can replicate this. This isn't just this standalone, like it was just a unique situation. What you did was so practical and so simple.
Yes.
You were fed up. Your daughters said, help us. And you put out a post, and then it's the whole, if you build it, they will come. Yes. And look what happened. I mean, within, what was it, 24 hours that you had that parking lot meetup?
It was Saturday, so Tuesday, about 3 days.
And you had hundreds and hundreds show up. What, when you were talking with the moms and the families that were in that crowd, what was the energy, I guess you could say? Why were people showing up at this point in the story we find ourselves in? What was driving them to say, okay, this is it. This is when I'm showing up. Something has to change. What did you get? What feedback from the people?
You know, we all have one thing in common. It's our children, and we're going to protect our children. So we're all on the same page. This has nothing to do with politics. This has nothing to do with religion. You know, we're not anti-vax. You know, my kids are vaccinated because I knew they were safe for my children. Not the same case with everybody, and I totally understand that, and I totally support that. And I even support people that want to have their children vaccinated if it makes them feel safer. But I feel that we should all have that choice to make for our families. I don't need the government telling me how to raise my children. Yes,
and that's what I'm hearing that a lot from parents, where it's like you pushed too far at this point.
I said he poked the mama bear.
Well, that's exactly right. It's like you can push long enough, you know, the masking, the social distancing, the quarantining, the learning pods. But as soon as you say your babies are going to have to roll up their sleeves and take an experimental injection with no long-term safety data, that's that push too far. And that's what I'm hearing a lot as well, is that's just the final push. And that's why we are seeing this incredible movement that you have grown out of a single Facebook post, which is, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Were you, when you sent out that post, what were you expecting? Because I think that a lot of moms who are listening probably think, oh gosh, if I were to put up a post, I might get a couple likes or, you know, a few comments, but there's no way it would be an organization like what you are growing. So what was your expectation?
You know, I thought maybe I would have a few moms DM me or dads or anybody. I figured I'd get a lot of hate too, from people that don't agree with me, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. You know, I'm a big girl. I can handle it. But I never ever expected anything like this to happen. I mean, to be honest with you, like doing this live, it's not my thing. I don't like my picture taken. I don't like going on camera, but I guess you've got to do what you've got to do to get the word out.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
You're doing a great job. So when Teresa joins, we'll ask her some of the legal angles. But with this organization itself, Moms on the Ground, what is the narrow focus of Moms on the Ground at this point?
At this point, it's just fighting the vaccine mandate. You know, we don't want to have to take our kids out of school because we will not get them vaccinated.
And when you are speaking with you're speaking at boards, you're speaking to schools, what is the feedback you're getting at this point in regards to the mandate that's coming down from San Francisco and their response, or not San Francisco, Sacramento, and their response in regards to this mandate?
Well, I think I did hear Newsom on TV say, come after me, stay away from the boards. So I don't think that they're enjoying that this movement too much. I think it's making them uncomfortable, and I think that's what we need to do is just keep fighting and realizing, and joining together and uniting as parents and just telling them we're not going to take it. You can mandate all you want, but this is where we draw the line. So and I think it's kind of crazy that prison guards don't have to have the vaccine, but our children do.
Well, it's crazy. I was actually crunching the numbers just the other day, and the current rate, the threat for our children stratified on the entire population right now is 0.000, that's 7% under the age of 18 in America currently. And we have 74.1 million kids under the age of 18 in America. And with that data, it's all follow the science, follow the data. They are rolling out this mass campaign to inject all of our babies. And to me, it doesn't make any sense with the stats, with the statistics, with this being a brand new novel injection that's just now being rolled out. And now the expectation is that if your kids want to go to school, then they're going to have to sign up and roll up their sleeve. I mean, it doesn't make much sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. And I think about this every day. I don't understand it. Like, why are we doing this? Is it for the greater good? I don't think it is.
No.
We all had COVID. We have the antibodies. We're better protected than the vaccine would have been for us. So I don't understand why, they're pushing it on those of us that, have already had it and have recovered just fine. I don't understand the thought process that they're going through.
Well, and that's why you're doing what you're doing. So tell us a little bit about like the next steps with Moms on the Ground, what you're planning to do, where you're planning to take this organization.
Honestly, I think we just want to unify with, people like you, other people that are fighting the same battle, because this isn't something that Moms on the Ground can fight and win on our own. We need to join other people, other companies, other institutions or what have you, just to continue to fight this. We can't do it alone. So that's why we're calling on everybody to stand with us. Keep your kids out of school on the 18th. Call in. Tell them it's to protest to the mandate.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. I'm getting a lot of questions about the 18th. So talk to us a little bit more about what the 18th is all about. And is this something that's statewide, or is this county specific?
No, this is definitely statewide. I've seen, and this isn't something that we came up with. I saw this before, and we were all like, what, we've got to join in. And we're just spreading the word. And, it is statewide, and I think, and everybody's say, oh, but it's not going to affect their budget. It will. It may not affect their budget, but it may open their eyes to see, wow, you know what? We're going to have a problem on our hands.
Well, and it also shows that we're willing to pull the babies, that we're not going to play this game. So it might not have that immediate impact where, on the piggy banks, but it does, it's a representation of us saying enough is enough. Yes. So this is statewide. And then are you advocating for parents and students to do anything on that day other than pull their kids? Or what's kind of the overall vision of how you would hope that day would go in California?
I would love for people to, pull their kids. I know there are parents that are, going to be standing outside the schools, with their poster boards saying, no vaccine mandate. And I think that's great. Too. Oh, you know what? I think Heather's going to hop in here too. She sent a request from Moms on the Ground. So I know there's marches. Everybody's doing something a little bit differently. But the main goal is to keep the kids home. If they walk out, the older kids might do that. Hey,
Hi,
Heather.
it's me.
Hey, good to see you.
Sorry, Teresa was having a hard time logging in, so I jumped in for her.
No, I'm glad to
thanks.
see you. I'm glad that you're on here.
Yeah.
We've been just talking about the organization and kind of the passion, the heartbeat behind it, and
Well,
how
Teresa just told me to get out because she can get in. You want to look for her request?
I'll look. I can bring both of you guys on though.
Okay, I'll
But I
probably
still,
just sit quiet and let her.
but I don't see her up. If I see her pop up, then I'll bring her on. You're more than welcome to stay on because you're one of the founders too. So, and that's
I am,
fine.
yeah.
Babies in the background is absolutely fine because we're moms. So I love it. So why don't you share a little bit about who you are in this organization as well?
Yeah, I think Amber kind of already gave me an intro, but basically I had already started like gathering my troops, so to speak. And she said she can't get on. She tried again. Anyways, I had tried to start gathering my troops. I had sent out like a bazillion emails and texts, and I just went through all my social media outlets and was kind of obnoxious about my request to see who wanted to join me. And then people started seeing Amber's post or her flyer, and they were like, okay, who's this? What's going on? Should we go? So when I was able to get in contact with her, it kind of like was vetting her on my own to see, make sure, she wasn't a crazy mama. And I was like,
Oh, I
okay,
am.
we all are, we all are. And so once we talked, I was like, okay, what can I do? And she was like, I don't think I can do this by myself. I'm like, okay, man.
There's no way.
And then we, like she said, we kind of formed a team pretty quickly, and it's been amazing.
When you posted it, Amber, did you post it? Was it on like a district page or was it
It was
a
our
school
little,
page?
our San Clemente life page.
Okay, so it was like just your area.
Yeah, just my area.
Okay, and then that's when Heather saw it, and that's kind of how it spiraled. What I think is important to note is that it's very hard to do big things alone. And we need those moms in our corners who are going to fight with us, who are going to stand with us. And that's probably one of the reasons why you've been so successful in growing this, because you're willing to take help from other moms. You're not exclusive. You're not in it for your name. You're really trying to build something, a community effort with other moms. And I think there's such a need right now where people want to be involved and they don't know how. So what encouragement would you give to moms who are like, I don't have anything like this near me, but I want to fight for my kids, and this is coming to all of us in California? What would be your advice practically at this point for moms who want to build something similar to what you are doing? And then I want to talk about how they can get involved specifically with moms on the ground.
Just like Heather did, join, get a group of your friends and kind of like I did, don't be afraid to speak out, talk to somebody. Even if you think that they might not agree with you, to have that conversation. And you just never know, what you can form on your own.
And I really do feel like there's such this growing willingness for people at this point, for moms, for dads at this point, to step in. And they just need direction, and they need leaders who are going to say, yes, you're welcome. Come fight with us. This is how we do it. Because I think that one of the inhibitors to us being able to find our way home, that's the way that I phrase it, right? Out of all this madness, to find our way home.
I like that.
Is that I think people just feel so overwhelmed and scared, and they feel like they're all alone, and
They're not.
so it stalls you. It puts you in like this quicksand where you can't move forward because you don't know how, and you feel like you're alone. And so then we never find our way home because we don't know how to. So how can people get involved with your organization specifically if they want to know more about what you're doing and how they can be a part of Moms on the Ground?
You want to take this, Heather?
Sure. Our website is coming soon. We are working feverishly to get that up as soon as possible. We know everybody's very anxious for those resources. We will have a form that you can fill out to get involved, and then we're going to break it down by zip code and school. So then people can kind of connect with their people. And then we'll have a calendar of events so that they can kind of find events that are going on in their area, and just kind of get plugged in that way. So we're going to have a couple different sort of outlets for that, I guess, or connection points. And then yeah, they can kind of plug in wherever they feel necessary. We'll have a lot of volunteer opportunities too once we get going. So we need people with all the skills.
Do you, is this more tailored to your area in San Clemente area, or is this something that you see being a statewide organization?
Oh,
Absolutely
we
statewide.
have people reaching out to us from all over California, all over the United States, even Canada.
Hmm.
So no, this is definitely something that, we need to take it statewide because we need all the forces. We need all the boots on the ground. We need all the parents joining together, whatever area you're in. So definitely statewide.
And then I know your website is still in the works. Do you have any idea when it's going to be up and ready for people to check it out and find out how they can plug in with what you're doing?
It should be up this next week.
Okay, awesome. And then I know that you said that there's going to be a toolkit. Can you tell us a little bit about what this toolkit is that you're rolling out?
Absolutely. We're going to have, well, it's kind of, there's going to be a toolkit for parents or individuals. There'll be one for teachers as well. And there will be talking points, kind of get you comfortable with talking to your neighbors or people. Some people just have a really hard time approaching people or, starting that conversation. So there'll be kind of talking points. There'll be some facts to get you familiar with it, kind of armed and ready, I guess. It's a way to get armed and ready to have those tough conversations.
Well, and
Which I
that's
think once
exactly.
you start, you'll find out it's not actually that tough.
No, and that's what we were talking about. That helps people because they feel like they're informed and they know how they can step in and they're not just free falling, trying to like throw
Exactly.
punches as they're falling. Um,
Exactly.
so I had some questions that came in from the community that I wanted to ask you ladies. And so we can go through these kind of like rapid fire, and then I'll ask you a few last questions. And then I want you to give encouragement as we close out for the mamas and the dads that are watching this. But one of the questions that kept coming up is, how in the world was there such rapid growth in 10 days of what you guys are doing? You're at 14,000 followers on Instagram, which it's not about a popularity game, but it shows that people are wanting to connect with what you are doing. So how in the world did you drive that? What's your secret in building community very rapidly?
Amber, you want to go?
Well, sure. I think just for building it so rapidly, it's because, we all have that thing in common, our children and the safety of our children, and we're all on the same page. So that's why it's grown so quickly. And we're very peaceful about it.
Hmm.
We're not going to be screaming and yelling and fighting with people. We're moms, we're gonna be respectful of people. And I think if you're respectful, you're going to get more people to join you.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you are so narrowly focused on
Yeah.
this injection and the mandates coming down from Sacramento that are so blanket and so against the science and the data at this point, I think gives you an edge because you're not trying to fight every single battle. You're focusing on this one, and then you're driving movement to fight against it. And that's huge right now. It's the whole death by 100 cuts versus taking out one blow. Your focus is so tailored to this one issue that I think that's key right now. And that's something that may be worth us all learning from, is that if we're narrowly focused and we drive our energy toward those singular issues, then we can create very quick change because we're focused on that and we're not wasting our energy on every single thing. And there are so many of us that we can all focus on those issues at hand, whether it's the healthcare worker issues or the border issues, or there's so many things going on right now that if we try and do it all, we're going to lose. But what you're doing
Exactly.
is you're focusing on one issue that is incredibly important. It's our children. It's the mandates coming at them very quickly. And that's all you're focused on. And I think that's really, really important during this crazy time that we're in right now.
I think a
Um,
lot of parents felt really, really hopeless and kind of directionless and didn't really know where to start. And so I think something about us stepping in and the fact that we're all moms and we didn't really know what to do either. We just sort of started that's been really encouraging and kind of sends a hopeful message. I've got a lot of positive feedback from parents that were just saying, "Oh, I'm so grateful to see," and
Mhm.
we're with you, that kind of thing. So
did you ever think that you were going to have a website and an email list and all?
No.
Was your thought that you were just going to have this one big meeting in the parking lot and then you're going to rally people to come? What was your thought with that?
Uh, I didn't really have a thought process. I just thought, let's just do this meeting and let's go from there. And it just exploded so quickly. It's just been a whirlwind. And then the support that we're getting from all of the parents, it's just amazing. I'm not just fighting for my kid, I'm fighting for everybody's kids. So, and I think that's the thing. We're all fighting for each other's children.
Absolutely.
Well, that's how you tribe up.
Yes.
That's the way we used to do it, right? The mamas were protecting the babies.
Exactly. We talked about that. We talked about how as moms, we would absolutely jump in front of a bus for somebody else's child without even thinking about it, and I heard today, someone said something about forming a shield barrier, back in the day in the wars and in the battles, they would take their shields and put them over one another. And I just thought that's exactly what we are doing. We are forming a shield barrier over our children.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so powerful. And it's so, so necessary right now in California and really across our country. So you said that you're networking throughout California. Someone had a really good question. They were asking if you are planning to have representatives from the different school districts throughout our state so that parents could have specific resources tied to their schools throughout the state. And I thought that was such a good question. Have you guys given any thought to having representatives from the different districts?
Definitely. We're going to have a link on our website, and we're going to have like liaisons for every district and every school in their counties. And those are going to be the people, you're going to have, all the schools go to the county liaison and then the county liaison to come to us. And that's how we're planning on doing this.
That's awesome, because that's that triangle approach where everything comes, but then you stay focused so people don't get lost in the cracks. Right. I love that. I know that Parisa couldn't come on. She was having log on issues, but I was going to ask her, because this came up a few times. Your organization is more focused on just saying medical mandates don't have a place in our society on our kids versus the approach of exemptions. Is there a reason why you aren't focusing on exemptions as an option?
Well, I think it just boils down to, we don't want to be told by the government that, we have to, have this vaccine for our child that truly doesn't need it. And it wouldn't be the first time that they've denied, religious exemptions. It's happened in the past. So, if everybody goes out and files a religious exemption, a personal belief exemption, they're gonna stop it. Just like the doctors here in California, they can only write, I think it's five medical exemptions for how many of their patients. What if there's 6 kids that need it? They can't do it. They're going to have to go see someone else. And it's only to that one vaccine. If a child has a bad reaction to a vaccine, that's great. He's going to get the medical exemption to that one vaccine, but it doesn't stop for all of them.
That's right. That's absolutely, we're up a creek with exemptions in California, which is why what you're doing is so valuable, because you're just saying, no, it ends here. We don't even say that this is appropriate. We don't give it any due time to have its moment here. We're saying now is no. We're not going to allow these exemptions in. We're not even going to we're not going to allow these mandates in. We're not going to play with exemptions, because we're not going to validate that this has any right in our society on our children. So that's why I'm so thankful for what you're doing, because you are fighting that fight and you're saying, no, enough is enough. Coming up, tell us about anything you guys have coming up, any rallies, any board meetings. What are your immediate things that you have planned for Moms on the Ground?
Well, obviously Monday is going to be a big rally for everybody statewide. And we're putting together a calendar of events, and that'll be on our website too, and also on our Instagram. Anything that we find out about is, we repost it on our stories. I know our district is having their meeting next Wednesday, and we're planning on being there. and being supportive
What
of each other.
next is that the October 21st meeting?
I think it's the 20th.
Okay, and that what district is that?
Uh, Capo.
Okay, because October 21st, there is another school board meeting. It's the Riverside Board of Education. And I know that Nurses for Freedom, the number 4, she has been in conversation with you as well. But they are planning a rally at 4 p.m. there at that school board meeting. And then the school board meeting starts at 5:30 for the same thing. So they're doing the same pushback of saying, now is the time that we all say no. Someone asked a question about, what do you say when school boards say that their hands are tied? What's your answer to that? Because that tends to be kind of the go-to phrase. Our hands are tied. So even if you come at us and you show up to our meetings, there's nothing we can do because this is coming down from the dictator in Sacramento. What is your response to that?
I don't think their hands are tied. I think they need to join with the parents and fight back. That's what I think that they need to do. They need to fight back. They need to fight back for our children. Unfortunately, some of them aren't doing it. You know, I'm hearing teachers, especially at one of, my kids' high schools, they're sending out emails or telling the kids, we've got a very important test on Monday. And if you miss it, you can't make it up. I don't understand. Like, that's wrong.
Well, it's because we live in the era of coercion. That's really, that's why, because coercion's become appropriate in America in 2021. People wanted to know about with this Monday sit out that's all throughout the state, what they're supposed to say when they call their kids out. Are they supposed to just say, we have to miss today? Or what is the verbiage that you're suggesting parents say when they pull their kids for the day this coming Monday, October 15th or October 18th?
This is what I'm going to say, and this is what I think everybody should say. I'm calling my child out to protest the vaccine mandate, and it's just as simple as that.
I love it. It's simple. It's cut and dry. That's it. And you know what? This is such a good opportunity. One of the reasons why I'm so supportive of this movement, because it's not going to in a day change the system. It's not going to break the banks of anyone, but it's an opportunity for parents who may be a little bit more, this is brand new, to fight back. It feels uncomfortable. It's a weird new thing to do. This is such a good opportunity for you to get your toes wet. And once you do it, it's like riding a bike, and you realize that our country was founded for the people to have the power. This isn't us bowing to kings and queens and, begging them to let us have our kids back for the day, or begging for our kids' right to medical freedom from tyrants and dictators. That's not America. And so non-compliance is a beautiful, important exercise. And this is such a fantastic opportunity this Monday to exercise peaceful non-compliance and to say, we will not comply. So we're taking our children out, and let this be a warning that if anything is passed and you don't push back, we will permanently remove our children. And let them see. I hope that Monday is a huge show of parents pulling their kids so that districts can shake a little bit in their boots, because in the long run, it does matter if those desks are open. It matters to the unions, and it matters to their piggy banks.
Yeah, because if they don't have kids in their schools, they're not going to have a school. You can't have a school with 30 or 40% of the kids that you used to have. You're not going to get the funding that you need. Teachers are, and I'm sorry, but teachers will get laid off. People will get laid off if you don't have the children in the schools.
Well, it's almost like what we're seeing with, the weather problems with Southwest Airlines.
Well, I'm from Florida. I can tell you right now, there was no weather issues going on.
That was a crazy weather issue pattern. And only affected Southwest. So bizarre, very strange weather patterns. But you see like what peaceful noncompliance does. It breaks the system, and some systems need to be broken at this point. They need to be broken, and they need to be reminded that we have the power, and we have the power to not comply. And it's a beautiful gift in America, and we should know how to exercise that. And that is our way home, is through what moms on the ground are doing. I am so thankful for you and for coming on and for sharing what you're doing. Why don't you, one more time, just tell people how the best way that they can find you guys. And then I'm going to give the email that, or you might have given me the email,
Yeah.
Amber. Okay. So why don't you just tell people all that info?
Okay. Well, we're momsontheground.ca on Instagram, Moms on the Ground on Facebook. And the best way to, we're sending out like emails kind of, on a weekly, bi-weekly as we get information. So the best way for me, because I've been handling all the data intake, is just to email us at momsontheground@gmail.com. It makes it a lot easier on me right now. So, and
Awesome.
we're all, we're 5 women and we all work full time. So, we're doing this hours before we go to work and hours after. I think I get 4, maybe 5 hours of sleep a night now.
I'm with you.
My phone starts blowing up at like 5:30 in the morning, and it doesn't stop till like 1:30. So
well, it's a war. So we're
is.
And I think that I keep reminding myself that when I look at my clock at night and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to maybe clock 4 hours, maybe. And it's night after night after night. But it's like, but we're fighting the good fight. Like I really believe you have to. This isn't the time to sleep and do all those fun things that we used to do. Maybe one day we will again.
I know.
But we're in a whole different time. And I want my children to have that experience I had as an American, as a young American. And I know that if I don't fight now, and if I don't cut a few hours of sleep, and if I don't get uncomfortable and get comfortable in the uncomfortable and do things that feel like I'm a fish out of water, then they will bear the brunt of it. And they're never going to have the experience that I did. And I want to preserve what we were given to the next generations and to my grandbabies and so on and so on. I think it's the most important thing right now is to do what you are doing, to tribe up and then to build outwards from that. And I'm so thankful for your fight and for being willing to get uncomfortable and to stick there, to stay in that discomfort, to change things. That's how we change things.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Amber, for your time. I want you to close us out with encouragement to the moms and dads who are watching, and just to give them any encouragement that you might have before we say goodbye.
Oh, okay. Well, the best advice I have is just to join together, unify. Anytime there is any kind of meeting, attend it. If you can attend it, please be there, because the more we show up in numbers, the more our voices are going to be heard. If there's a school district meeting and only 10 parents show up, they're not going to listen. But if we have hundreds and thousands at every school district meeting, they're going to listen to us. So I think we just keep fighting the good fight. We unify and just keep moving forward, because we've got this.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Power in the people. So
that's right.
We definitely have it.
Yep. And there are so many of us. I think we underestimate our numbers daily. There are so many of us.
Yeah. And not everybody is as willing to kind of speak out, or maybe they don't know. So that's why it's really important to, get the flyers, print the flyers out, protest, because some people don't, they don't watch the news, or they're not on social media and they have no clue. So, that's why we just like every parent has to get out there and spread the word.
Thank you, Amber. You rock.
Welcome.
I'm so thankful for you. And we'll have you on again because I know that lots of things are in the works and things are changing with your organization on the daily. And I'm excited to watch you continue to grow. So I'll have you back on in a little bit, and we will touch base and see where things are at in the very near future.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Talk to you again soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.